We love you very much. Become those who endure negative emotion to a certain degree. In other words, you all have your thresholds. You all have your endurance levels, sort of depending upon what you've bumped up against. You are not nearly, we love you very much, as picky as we would like you to be about feeling good all of the time. Because you got to understand, we feel good all the time. Because we want to. And we don't see any reason why not to, since that's the part of the agreement that we are involved in. We hold vibrational maintenance with the furthest request that mankind or you individually have come to. We hold the vision that life has caused you to give birth to. And we hold it so powerfully that there is never a time that you don't have access to it. If you care about the rendezvous more than you do about justifying or rationalizing or being right. Are you following what we're getting at? Now, most of you are in a situation where what you are witnessing is aggravating, annoying. You can put yourself into a state of fear if you try real hard, but mostly you don't. And so you may have heard us say, you don't really do the work because it's not painful enough to you not to. This isn't the basis of teaching that we were wanting to give to you. In other words, it is not our desire that you wait until things are unbearable before you begin doing the work. But the reason that we're talking to you as we are in this way is because we know, we can feel who you are coming from all over the place. There are 63 countries playing with us here today. Nice to feel you all out there. Every state, all 50 states are listening in and participating. Jerry is listening from San Antonio and taking notes and enjoying. And what we are wanting you to realize as we are all playing together in this vibrational environment is that the larger part of you always reigns supreme. And anytime you are reaching for alignment with it, your life will be fuller and better in this moment, in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. And that's really what deliberate creation is. It's keeping up with who you are, or at least making an effort to keep up with who you are. And the more you do that, the more joyful your life will be. And the less freaked out you will be about exploring in the realms of the unwanted, because you came as physical creators and as physical manifestors, deliberately intending to sift through the data to give birth to desires. If you find yourself, and Jerry and Esther have heard themselves saying this a little bit in the last months. Now what? Now what? In other words, now what? What is life going to solicit from us now? Now what? Now what? Because dreams that we've held for a very long time are now manifested. Now what? Now what? Now what? What deeper, richer, more meaningful desires can be born? What desires can hatch to which we can find alignment that will cause a manifestation that will be over the moon thrilling, you see. And that's the thing that we want you to realize is available to you all day, every day. You are expansive, deliberate, genius creators. But we can only apply the deliberate word when and if, when and if, when and if, when. We can only apply the deliberate word when you care how you feel as much as we care how we feel. Occasionally over the years, Esther has said, Abraham, I'm not in a good place. And I now understand that this negative emotion that I'm feeling means that I have caused a vibrational resistance, separation's too strong a word, between where you are and where I am. So if you were any kind of a friend or inner being or angel or God force, if you were half what you are cracked up to be, you would come over here where I am and hold my hand until I feel better. And we say, you're kidding, right? You want us to leave the vortex so that we can help you back in? How could that possibly work? Your only chance of feeling good is to know that we're here and feel for us. That's what your emotions are. Your emotions are your indicator of your success or lack of success, of aligning with who you really are or not. Are you getting this? So you cause the expansion of the source within you, and then the source within you holds steady the vibration, holding bright the light, holding bright the signal, holding bright the feeling, knowing the well-being that you've added and added and added and added so that you can feel your way into alignment, because that's what rings your bells. We're not talking about the big hairy deal of manifesting the car or the empire or the New York Times best-selling book or the most perfect relationship in the world or the magnificent dream body that you're looking for or the recovery from something unwanted physically. We're talking about your ability to manifest the emotion that you're going to get from it after you get that manifestation now. You don't have to wait for the manifestation to show up in order to get the manifestation of emotion, which is the reason you're doing it anyway. That's our point. Did you hear it? So, and will you admit that you want it for the emotional reward anyway? And do you believe that you can get the emotional reward before you get the manifestation that supports it? That really is the big question. Because if you believe that, then you're home free. If you need the manifestation first, to which you will have a positive reaction, now you're slowing it all way, 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 way down. Now you've got it backwards. Manifestation always follows the vibration. The vibration is about focus. So when you get it, if we can convince you, if we can get you to make a decision, if someone said, what are your goals in life? And you would say, my goal is to feel happy in as many moments as is possible. We would say, now that you've set joy as your goal, you've got it. You've got it all figured out. But if you say, well, my goals are, by the time I'm 30, I want to have achieved this degree, and I want to be at this financial status, and I want to have this kind of relationship, and I want to have 2.5 children by that time. As you make your goals about the manifestations, and you forget about the manifestation that is the real reason that you are setting all of your goals, then you slow everything way down. But if you set emotional goals, if you decide that how you feel is what matters, now everything picks up for you really, 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 really fast. And so today, what we really want to emphasize, and we can feel you're up for it, what we really want to emphasize is the close proximity. It's so close that you could call it instant manifestation, although that freaks you out. The close proximity between the alignment that you achieve deliberately with your vortex and the manifestations that follow, or the not closeness with your vortex that you achieve and the manifestations that follow. We want to show you how whatever it is you're feeling is causing the manifestations to unfold. Now, sometimes you don't believe that because it feels like, oh, there's already people out there. There are already situations that have been created. I cannot create in the experience of another. But we want you to understand that you can evoke, you can elicit, you can rendezvous with. In fact, not just can you, but you do, with precisely in the moment how you're feeling in the moment, with precisely how you're doing, how you're feeling in the moment, with precisely how you're doing, how you're feeling in the moment. Now, friends, freak you out or not, that's instant manifestation. You can be observing something that's not so good, and maybe it's irritating you, maybe it's frightening you, maybe it's just frustration. It could be anywhere in that range of unwanted emotions, strong or not so strong. And as you focus there, you cause a vibration within you to reverberate in response to whatever it is that you're observing. You just let often that circumstance train you into a vibrational frequency. And then everything that happens to you now, this could take a while, now, reflects what you've got going on vibrationally. Now, what you've got going on vibrationally is always reflected to you by what you feel. But what happens to you so often is you become accustomed to feelings that are indicators of vibration that's going to reflect back to you more stuff that you really don't want so much. But you're hardy, we know. You take those classes, those stiff upper lip classes. You take those wrestle it to the ground and kill it classes. You take those life isn't supposed to be fair or fun classes. You take those I'm strong and I'm hardy and I can endure and I can persevere and life isn't supposed to be fun. And we say, yes, it is. It's supposed to be fun, not just now, but always. And what you're going to come to realize as you play with this more and more in a conscious, deliberate way is that it is oh so fun to witness something unwanted, maybe something really unwanted, because in the knowing of what you don't want, there is a bounce or the other end of that vibrational wavelength that knows exactly what you do want. And even though you can't maybe speak what you want because you're so embroiled in what you don't want, what you do want's bouncing out of you, bouncing out of you, bouncing out of you, because friends, you just got to know how obvious it is when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. In other words, that's that deciphering process, isn't it? And when you really don't want it, you really do want something else. And when you sort of don't want it, you sort of don't want something else. But this process helps you to define whether you can speak it or not. So this defining, this preferring, this giving birth to new intentions, it's the evolution of all species. It's the evolution of the cellular species. It's the evolution of the human species. It's the evolution of everything, is this energy or vibration that bounces from someone, whether you're a one-celled organism or whether you're a full-fledged genius human, focusing and identifying, whether consciously or whether vibrationally, identifying what it is you prefer. Evolution, evolution, expanding, expanding, becoming, becoming, becoming. But most humans are really slow on the trigger to go along with what they have birthed. Your inner being isn't. In other words, you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and only a part of that consciousness, a really rather small, we will not say insignificant, but it is part of you. In other words, the larger part of you remains non-physical. Here you are, physically focused, this wonderful personality that is you, sifting through and preferring, expanding, becoming, asking, whether you put words to it or not. Someone's rude, you want nicer people around you. If you're sick, you want to be well. If you're really sick, you really want to be well. If you don't have enough money, you want money. All day, every day, bounce, 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 bounce. And the source within you, becoming, because every time you say, I'd like that, source who holds no resistance, your inner being who holds no resistance, becomes what you've asked for, vibrationally speaking. Now, that doesn't ring your bells very much because you're into manifestation, and it's okay. That's why you're here in these flesh, blood, and bony bodies. You have come for manifestations. You've come to this leading edge because, to line up and manifest, it just doesn't get any better than that. This is not catching up time. This is leading edge time. You're not here to prove worthiness through your manifesting. You're here to prove creation through your manifesting. In other words, you're here to create through manifestation. We have enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey. This has been a delicious unfolding and one of our favorites ever, in that there has been so much obvious manifestation on the heels of vibrational work of different people who have been in the audience. Haven't you enjoyed that? And don't you love knowing that manifestation is so close on the heels that you could call it instant manifestation? And don't you want to begin observing the manifestations, wanted and unwanted, as you reflect back the vibrational stance that you had going? Don't you think that this understanding is going to put you in the driver's seat of everything that's going to be coming to you from now on? And aren't you eager to offer a vibration, a thought deliberately, and then watch the manifestation that follows? Aren't you eager to let the universe show you how you're doing? And aren't you willing to embrace it, whether it's wanted or unwanted, as you then explore the details of how it felt while you were generating the vibration of it, and how it felt as the manifestation came to show you what you generated? Don't you love knowing that you get to create how you feel because you get to create the thoughts you think, and that the manifestation will then reflect it back to you in real time? Don't you love knowing? Haven't you sometimes thought that what manifestations are down the road relationships, or down the road businesses, or down the road success, or down the road empires, or down the road improved bodily conditions? In other words, I want to lose 40 pounds. Well, hopefully that's going to be down the road.